Uh, I wanted to do a live sort of summoning up of the year. It's going to be Christmas on Monday. We do Christmas Eve here, so, that's what we do. We don't, then we go and do actual Christmas Day in Maryland. But Christmas Eve will be here at the house, opening presents, probably eating crab legs till we can't move, and clams and stuff like that. Do a seafood thing. I want to talk about basically a summoning up of the year. So, started out this year with Disney layoffs, and it didn't quite go the way we thought it would. A lot of people were laid off by Disney, but as far as Lucasfilm goes, they did have people leave. In fact, if I remember right, Sparrow did say that quite a few people left. And um, interesting to note, want to add this, that if you look at the Lucasfilm leadership page, go look at it. There's a new social media guy. The woman that ran it got fired or left or whatever. But it looks to me like there are different faces there now, and it's very hard to discern because it looked to me like it was basically promoting from the inside. It's very interesting to me. So let's go back. So we had the layoffs at Disney. Nelson Peltz made his initial investment in the Walt Disney Company. Iger staved off a proxy war with him, and then now we're back at it. And I think this time Peltz will get what he wants. And I don't think there's anything Iger can do about it. But we had Star Wars Celebration where Kennedy was told by Iger to take your celebration, make it about you. She told him, everybody will know I'm leaving. And Iger said, yeah, I know. So instead of doing what he told her to, because she can't be fired for cause, she went and was very insubordinate. Daisy Ridley showed up, probably to say good, to wish her well. Ended up, they announced a fake Rey movie. And of course, Leslie Headland there with The Acolyte. Now let's talk about The Acolyte. We have at least one lawsuit going on. A lady named Karen McCarthy, who is connected to people like Tom Hanks, Paul Giamatti, she's friends with Bob Iger, was asked by Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy to be the line producer for The Acolyte. She jumped at the chance. Okay, not really a good idea. She had another opportunity to go work for a show called Sugar on Apple with Colin Farrell. She decided to go for The Acolyte. 2 weeks later, and this was, the emails back and forth between her and Candace Campos are, obvious that she's got a cause. Basically she was going to get a per diem. She was either going to be able to, they were going to pay to rent a house for her or a hotel suite, etc., cars, her own phone, everything. 2 weeks later, she's called up and said, basically she's fired. She was let go. She tried to get them to pay her what she was owed. Now look, she not only lost out on The Acolyte, she lost out on Sugar. So really, they probably do owe her for both those shows. They basically said, we're not, they gave her $5,000 to go away, which is bullshit money. She sued them. And that came out before Star Wars Celebration, and really got it when you start looking at the paperwork for The Acolyte, you're going to walk away going even more confused, be more confused than a Protestant looking at the Vatican's ruling on blessings. They don't understand it. And when you look at the acolyte, the government, the licensing and the licenses and the money, where the hell did they get $30 million? Okay, because Disney didn't give it to them. I mean, there's no connection between Disney giving the show the green light and what you see on that UK paperwork. It's really just eye-opening and kind of appalling. Okay, and so there is a thing called Blue Stockings Limited in the UK. There was one here. I think the one here in California was closed. But to give you some background, what studios like Lucasfilm, Amblin, you name the studio, what they will do is they will set up a shell company and put money into that shell company where the producers can then take money to make the movie from that shell company. And hey, JGMS. And it's literally, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me finish. Let me just talk what I'm talking about. And that's what Blue Stockings is. It's a shell company. They all do it. So there's nothing, there's nothing that's not above board with Blue Stockings. And, but when you look at it, you realize that they probably did have the money to pay Karen McCarthy a couple of $1 million. They did not. All right. And this is when she sued them. When you look at the court filing, which has since been removed from the LA County courts, there's enough proof to take Lucasfilm to court. The problem is Disney is blocking any attempt by McCarthy's lawyers to see what the acolyte really is. And there's a reason why people think it's fake. Because no one has seen anything beyond hysterical fan shit from, the Jason Ward, Disney Insiders, Inside the Magic, fan magazines, online fan stuff. And they're the ones that keep putting out these stupid rumors. The Rey movie. Okay, so let's get into Star Wars Celebration. So we've got Harvey's former personal assistant who, over the last, I would say 10 years, gained about 50, 60 pounds. She's disgusting. She's a fucking whale. Shows up there with her actors that are supposed to be in The Acolyte. They don't even know what the fuck the show is really about. And they basically tell people that. And Daisy Ridley shows up. Okay, now remember, let's go back. What did Bob Iger tell Kathleen Kennedy that he wanted her to do? Take your celebration, okay? This is your Viking funeral. Instead, she brought the people in from The Acolyte, and she brought Daisy Ridley in and flipped the narrative on her to saying, we're making a Rey movie. Now, why'd she do this? There were two other people there and another group of actors there to promote a show called Ahsoka. And, oh yeah, she did cross. Oh, and hi guys. Basically what Kennedy did was she took any wind away from Favreau and Filoni. And, hey Carlos, which I think hurt Ahsoka bad, which is exactly what Kennedy wanted to do. Look, when we were told by Doomcock, and I do believe this is one of the things he has said that I absolutely find to be true. She told Bob Iger, if I can't, this nonsense will end, or I'm taking the whole thing, or I'm burning the whole thing down. I mean, she basically, I'm paraphrasing what she apparently said, but that's exactly what she did. She said to Iger, because what was going on, that was a long time ago. That was like 3 years ago. Favreau and Filoni, instead of talking to her about the scripts, talked to George about the scripts. Okay. And that's exactly what she did by announcing the fake Ray movie and The Acolyte, which is like, which I'm going to say, if I was a lawyer for Disney, I would have killed her for doing that. All right. Look, everything going on with the illegal stuff, with the lawsuits, there are 2 lawsuits. We'll get to the second one in a minute. It's her fault. It's her fault. Okay. She's conniving. She's very immature. Yeah, and Carlos is right. So she goes back, and then we have, Star Wars Day, the 4th of May, and then the premiere of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny at Cannes. That was the day that Disney announced that they were canceling Willow, and they were closing the Galaxy's Edge Star Cruiser Hotel. All right. She walks out and she's got emails from her flying monkeys going, freaking out. When you look at the background pictures of her, she looks completely dazed because she didn't expect this. Okay. She's stupid. This is how stupid she is. She honestly thinks she can outmaneuver Bob Chapek or Bob Iger. So we get to Los Angeles, the premiere there. And you guys saw the video. I have sent it to Ben Shapiro. Everybody's seen it. If you can safely say that Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford did not engineer a public dissing, a public canceling of Kathleen Kennedy and her potted plant husband, Frank, you are a slab of meat and you're stupid. I was like this when I first watched it. Because when you watch their reactions as Spielberg's talking about George, talking about Harrison, and they both get like this, and all of a sudden he says, the maestro, John Williams, and Frank just looks at him like that. And then he tells Kathy, let's go. Kathy then uses George as a crash helmet. All right. She was absolutely mortified. So then the movie comes out. And that was the day I'm sitting in the parking lot at the theater. That was the day that I got a phone call from Cameron saying that Kennedy had been suspended from the email Yeah, it's true, Carlos, that Kennedy had been suspended from Lucasfilm email. And that Monday is before the 4th of July. And she had a knockdown, drag-out shouting match with Iger, where she was trying to blame him for all the failures of the movies, when she was dragged in there to explain why Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny failed. Look, she can sit there and say what she wants, but that movie lost $350 million, and it never should have lost any money. Okay. When you look at that movie, I mean, even Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that had a much better, tighter script than this did. Okay. And the reason why it was so disjointed is because of all the reshoots, because Kennedy couldn't get it right the first time. All right. And, I just got done watching Christmas Vacation for like the 50th time this year. And it always amazes me how tight and uniform scripts of movies were in the 80s. Okay. We don't have that anymore. We didn't have that with the Force Awakens. We definitely didn't have that with the Last Jedi. And the Rise of Palpatine is shit. All right, it's disjointed, unfinished shit. Okay, and that's honest to say that. Okay, it's very honest. So she goes on her vacation to Europe. She's in Paris, and then she comes back, and then she goes. I think she went to Spain. I mean, she was like in England and everywhere. And these guys that had shown up at Lucasfilm, we call them the Five Nazgul. One of them, the leader of the band, was the Witch King of Burbank. Lawyers, accountants, and executives from the C-suite at Disney basically banned Kennedy from the campus at Lucasfilm. They started going through the emails, putting together a bunch of evidence. Now, I've since learned that it's true that she's probably back on the server again. We'll get to that. Okay, so Kennedy is not allowed on the campus. The Nazgul have got all this stuff. And what is interesting to me when you look at all this is how well Disney's been able to keep it on the down low. And, you know, Kennedy apparently showed up for a secret squirrel private meeting with the Witch King of Burbank. Her office was cleared out. Okay. And, you know, we've got all that going on. Meanwhile, Ahsoka comes out. And of course, the Black Pill Blobs all want to say it didn't do well. And it ended up being like 5th in streaming, which is good. And it looks like it'll probably get a part 2, but they haven't announced anything because the bitch queen will not resign. She won't go. Okay. And it looks to me like Favreau and Filoni want to make these announcements. Now, we've since started getting stuff about. Let's talk about the Rey movie again. The Rey movie gets fan recognition. People make up rumors and they run with it. Daisy Ridley has said she has not really seen any script. The guy that's supposed to be writing it is notoriously slow, and from what I've heard, every time he tries to submit something, they send it back to him. And what they're doing, I think, is probably making him write it till he gets bored and leaves. Okay. This is the guy that was brains behind Peaky Blinders. So, you know, Star Wars is a quintessential American story. And when you get people that are foreigners that are involved with it, trying to write it, it doesn't work that well. I don't think. That's just my opinion. So we'll go further. Okay, so Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. It didn't make any money. It lost money. It was basically Kennedy's last hurrah. This was supposed to be her last hurrah too, but she went to Bob and said, I would like to make the Rey movie as my last hurrah, and he said no. She went and announced the Rey movie anyway, all right? So we've got all that. No announcements have been forthcoming, and it's been real quiet on the Lucasfilm front for a while, all right? And that's fine. That's fine. Can be what it is. Meanwhile, Bob Iger's trying to fend off Nelson Peltz from a proxy war again. And, oh, look, it's a faggot for Junkman. Here, faggot. There. What are you talking about, John? The hair is working. Okay. And it's STEPHANIE. You know, uh, we've got a lot of, it's just been real quiet with Lucasfilm. We've got Nelson Peltz back with the $2 billion investment in Disney. He wants a seat on the board. And honestly, I don't think Iger can really do much with them. Now, can one of you guys tell me what this stuff is with the board? Because I don't know. They're not, none of the people on the board are really invested in Disney. It's that, if that's the case, they shouldn't be on the board. Okay. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. So then we got Adam Driver doing the press for Ferrari. And I guess Cameron really liked it. I'm not going to see it because I don't like Adam Driver. I won't attend anything that he's in. And partially it's his fault because he never publicly addressed what his fans were doing to other fans, what his fans were doing to him. All right. And, he'd say some, kind of shitty things in public about his fans, but he didn't say, hey, tone it down. He didn't say, if people don't like Raylo, they don't like it. Okay, let it go. They would have shut up. Or they would have, thrown a temper tantrum and a hissy fit. But he said apparently that there was no plan for the sequel trilogy, and that actually his character was never supposed to be redeemed. All right, which fine by me, I don't care. I mean, the sequel trilogy is shit no matter what, And going back to that conversation that the drinker had with Ben Shapiro, the only way they can fix Star Wars is to remove the sequel trilogy from canon and get some new names and on the leadership board at Lucasfilm, and Disney to be transparent. Look, it's the same. Look, Disney is doing what the government does. The American people demand transparency of the government. Government says, fuck you. Okay. Disney does not want to be transparent about what's going on at Lucasfilm for what? Law stuff to protect the stock price now that it's gone up a little bit now. It's up in the low 90s right now. Oh, and they might, but I think it has more to do with legal stuff. But still, it's stupid. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what is going on with the Acolyte. Okay, tell us, look, Leslie Headland has a disgusting, filthy show on. Oh, thank you, John. I mean, I didn't. It's okay. I just was like, what? What? It's just one of those things where I think the fans deserve to know what's going on. Look, when I say go on X, Twitter X, and tell Bob Iger, Frank Marshall, it's time that Kennedy leaves. It's not only because it's time and she's worn out her welcome. It's for the fact that I think we all deserve closure on her era, right? Her family deserves it. As fans, like I said, we deserve to see her leave. Her employees, the people that used to work for her at Lucasfilm, deserve it. All right, they deserve to see the sun set on her bullshit, and maybe they could. I mean, look. You know, when you look at this and you realize that her staying there is limiting the opportunities for the people that worked for her. Like, Lynn Wynn Brennan can't just go out and find another, she's not going to go out and find another job. Carrie Beck isn't just going to go out and find another job, even though, because she has worked well with Dave Filoni, I don't think she's going to go anywhere. The others who've been loyal to Kennedy can't go out and find other jobs. And again, still others are probably going to be called to the carpet when the lawsuit finally gets going with the Karen McCarthy thing, and probably have to be, dragged because they were part of it. They were the ones that created the incorporated Blue Stockings. They were the ones that sent the emails basically saying that, yes, Karen, we're going to do this, 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 and this for you. And then they pulled the rug out from under her. Okay. Here's the thing. We deserve, I think the world deserves to be able to move on from Kathleen Kennedy. Okay. We've got, obviously there's something has happened. I mean, again, if you are familiar with the Lucasfilm leaderboard, go onto the website. And if you've seen those faces before, look at it and tell me other people haven't suddenly appeared and disappeared. Okay. There are a lot of people that will probably be fired too. I wouldn't doubt that Rain Roberts will go. Okay, when Kennedy's gone. Kennedy, by virtue of not moving on herself, is hurting herself. Oh, look, all of Hollywood knows that there's something going on at Lucasfilm. I mean, and when Cameron is told by a friend that works at THR, his editor won't let him write about it. Why? Is it because Kennedy threatened him? Or is it because Disney said it's not the time yet? Okay, let's talk about Kennedy versus Iger. It has been long since established, we think, that Kathleen Kennedy has the goods on everybody in Hollywood. Does she? If she had anything remarkable on Bob Iger, don't you think that she would probably have given it to somebody? All right. See, this is my thing. Is I think Frank would have told her to drop it. Drop that info. Do it. That's what I think. All right. But Iger is one of the most powerful executives in the film industry. You don't think he has something on Kennedy? Let's talk about Gina Carano now. So now, over a month ago, one of the bigger YouTubers who's BFFs with Gina intimated during a discussion that there were emails derogatory that would make Kennedy look bad, and other information, notes, etc. Make her look like a racist, make her look like a sexist, make her look like a bigot. Some even to the point where the Harvey Weinstein, and I'm not talking about financial stuff right now, even though there's some illegal stuff due to finances with the Acolyte, right? When I talk about Harvey Weinstein, I'm talking about the thing that he got in trouble for. That kind of shit, okay? And we figured that that's what the Nazgul were doing all last summer, keeping her off the server so they could get all of the information they needed. Okay, now, do they have enough to fire her for morals issues? I don't know. But If you think that Bob Iger wouldn't, in order to defend himself, set her reputation on fire, you're wrong. Okay, and again, when Steven Spielberg purposely ignored her at the Indy 5 premiere in LA, it basically was the moment where Hollywood should have said, it's a free for all, let's get her. And they didn't. Okay, they didn't. They haven't done it yet. And we sit and wait for the emails because Gina said in that statement on X, Twitter X, that it would happen soon. It is, it's December 19th. When's it happening? All right. And that was over a month ago. All right. So this is just a summoning up of the year. I don't know where this is going to end. I don't, we did have a Bad Batch teaser trailer drop, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to watch the teaser again. It looked good. And we just got to wait for whatever to happen is going to happen. Meanwhile, we keep prodding Frank to get Kathy to let Lucasfilm go. I mean, I'll leave you with this. There's a great scene in the TV show Frasier. Everybody knows how much I love it. Where Martin's talking about his chair, and Frasier goes, "Don't you see it wants to die? Let it go." And it's like, Kathy, your time at Lucasfilm is over. Let it go. Let it go. All right. So you guys, if anything happens again, I'll do a video. I'll do an upload. I'll probably even go live if something major happens. But if I don't see you till after Monday, Merry Christmas. And have a good one. Be safe. Don't drink too much. Go party like rock stars. But don't drive. Okay. And have a great time with your family and friends. That's what, go to mass, go to church. And it's the biggest birthday celebration of the year. It's when eternity pierces time. Think about it. All right. God becomes, it comes in human form. And that was the greatest moment in human history. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. Losing my voice, and I want to go grab some lunch. So see you guys around the galaxy. Merry Christmas. Happy ho-ho.